It now tells us we're live. So, hello, Alexis, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah.
Good. So today, for those watching, we are live with Alexis Salin, we're gonna talk about owning our goals, right? When we want to achieve something, we're going to talk about how to do that with accountability. We're going to talk about trusting the process and a whole bunch of exciting stuff. So we're really lucky to be here with Alexis, and I'm really looking forward to learning from you, as I know everyone watching will. Alexis, why don't you start with telling us a bit about yourself?
Just about my life, you mean, kind of? So how I came to where I am now?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put my little light on. There you go, that I got from you that I love. So, well, I studied psychology, and I've always been really into sports. And I always wanted to teach people that kind of didn't like sports, because I wanted to have them just find how it can help you, especially with your emotional wellness. And because I know that when I don't do sports, I really get very grumpy, and I think I'm ugly, and all my clothes look like shit, and I'm like, oh. And then I just, like, I do a couple of push-ups, and I just run, and I just feel the life coming back to me. It's like I'm addicted to these hormones in my brain. And I just want to help other people experience the same. So, well, after I studied psychology, I started helping people lose weight, and just found it was so difficult, and that it was never a question. Sometimes it could also be a question that people would eat healthily, even better than I, but they just wouldn't lose weight. So to me, it seems like there's a lot of subconscious stuff going on. And so I kept evolving, let's say, and studying, and I discovered tapping. And so I use tapping now, and that kind of influences your subconscious beliefs about yourself, and so that your body and your mind are in alignment to get your goals, to actually hit your goals, instead of your mind sabotaging, or your unconscious mind sabotaging your goals.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm excited to dive into the content of tapping, because your app name is Tapping Fit, for those of you who want to check it out. It's really cool. But first of all, tell us about where you are in the process. Like, when did you join Passion, and where are you right now with it?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I kind of finished it in the 30 days. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's like 32 days ago or 35
Cool.
days ago, something like that. So yeah, I saw the pop up on Instagram, and my husband just lost his job due to the Corona crisis, and
Right.
he's been kind of nervous and very anxious, and I've always wanted to step up and like have an online program and create passive income. And I've bought, I think, 3 programs to do it, and I've never actually followed through. So that's a big compliment for you, because I've spent more money than I have on your program, on earlier programs. And I don't know, there was one woman, and I just didn't like her tone of voice, and she irritated me. And then it was like Excel sheets, and it got really complicated. And it was like, my God, it was so much work, and never mind. And I just found that it was with you, it's just start. And I like the type form a lot, that you just right away had to type in your answer, and I didn't have a booklet. So I remember with the other course, I'd have all these papers all over the place, and it would all just get all messed up, and I'd lose oversight and then my drive. So yeah, I started 30 days ago, and I did like a few lessons a day in the beginning, which was good, because that was easy steps. And you think, oh, well, that's not too bad. So that gets you motivated. Like, oh, I'm doing 4 a day. And then, of course, towards the end, it gets more intense.
It does. It does. Very nice. So you've done the 30 days. How did you get on with your launch and everything?
Really well. I got 8 people to sign up eventually. So first it was like 6 or 7, like 400 euros. So I made 3,200 euros. Yeah. So yeah, that was really, really exciting. And yeah, a lot of people also, that they said, I don't have the money. And also with Corona now, I can imagine a lot of people don't have their jobs. So I did give some people the option to pay in like 4 terms of 100 euros, which I know you don't recommend, but yeah, that's kind of just the way. But a few also just paid in 1 time or in 2 times. But I did offer that option, and I had a lot of people come after I closed, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That
So then
urgency really gets people, right?
yeah, I guess. And then they were kind of like, do you still have a spot? And I'm probably too late. And then I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. You can come in. But I didn't put that out in the open, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. Congratulations. You
Thank
did
you.
all the hard work. I appreciate the kind words, but you did it.
Yeah.
And you know, many people don't persevere through the process, as you can imagine. So I'm very, very pleased to hear that you enjoyed it and that you got value from it. So tell us about Tapping Fit. Like, what is the whole idea behind your app?
The idea is that I'm kind of combining tapping scripts. So you start the morning with it's tapping is like you tap on acupressure points while you actually say what you're thinking and want to suppress. So thoughts like I'm a failure, but you kind of want to actually express those. And people are like, but because you're tapping, it kind of sends relaxing stimulus into your stress center, and it brings down the heaviness of the emotion. So you're kind of just actually letting it out, so that expressing it so that you can let it go. And then tapping in affirmation. So just start the day with a 5-minute tapping process. I'm trying to do like 3 different tappings each week. So one is like focused on um, emotional eating. The other one is more on just relaxing, because a lot of stress leads people to eat. And then there's like I've got a binge stopper. So like if you're like ready to binge and like, fuck it, sorry, screw it, I don't care. That then you like, put this on, and it's a 2-minute real quick audio to stop yourself from eating. And then the rest I've got yoga and workouts on it as well, and a menu, of course, which took me a lot of time, because I adapted that, because for my clients personally, I think it was too perfect, and being perfect is their whole issue, and that's what makes them totally, freak out and binge. So I kind of added like tacos with beans, and just normal foods that were, it's healthy and it's got beans in it, and but it's not perfect. So I added a lot of that. Took a long time to get that done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's everything really: food, exercise, and psychology.
Wow, cool. So for those of you watching, first of all, I will say welcome. I can see a bunch of you here live, which is fantastic. Drop your comments, your questions below, and we will get to them later. So if you have questions for Alexis or things you'd like to share, then just drop them in the comment section. If you're watching on the replay, do the same. Give us a hashtag replay so we know where you are as well. What I want to pull out of that for those of you watching is like, as we go through this, I want to pull out what my key takeaways are, and I encourage you to do the same. And now the key takeaway obviously just gone out of my head the second I said that. Never mind. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to it. My brain works in that way. It will come back to me. I promise.
Okay.
Okay, good. So you talked about what tapping actually is, and something I was interested in is that you said that that you've been through multiple programs before, right? And that different things didn't work for you, and that you're enjoying this. And I'm curious for you, what changed? Not so much about like the program, but like how are you able to hold yourself accountable? Because I know that a lot of people watching, the hardest thing as an entrepreneur is like no one's telling you what to do. Like you have to find that inside you, right? How did you go
Mhm.
about doing that?
I just had this enormous sense of drive this time. I've bought programs like this actually secretly before, because I know that my husband's kind of like, he doesn't support me that well, and he kind of thinks, oh well, that just sounds like a big dream. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs probably have the same, that you don't feel understood in that sense. And I'm like, yes, but I really think that I can do this. But then so anyway, I bought that secretly. This time I told him, and like he got a bit angry with me and said, how could you spend this money when I just lost my job? And that made me kind of go, I'm going to show you. So I think that's it. And I just, sometimes I was up till 1 a.m, and I was like, I am going to do this and I'm going to finish it. And then your program helped me along. I just, went to just went every day and just did what you told me. And that was it, really.
Wow. So the key takeaway for me there is public accountability. In your case, it was your husband. For others, it's sharing on social media. You know, I often have people tell me, hey, I don't want to, I'm thinking about doing something, right? Like as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking about doing something, but I don't really want to tell anyone, because if I end up not doing it, I don't want people to think that I'm a flake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, right? Like putting yourself out somewhere publicly and saying, I'm going to do this, and then not doing it feels, awful. Like it feels like so much more safe to just not tell anyone and then do it secretly. And if you fail, no one knows. And but what we don't understand is that it is that public accountability that drives us, right? In your case, telling your husband made you go, you know what, I'm going to show him.
Yeah. And I have done all these other programs that have also given me a lot. I mean, it's not, so it was also that I think that I've done several times, what is my niche? What is my message? What is my, what is it again that you all, all these things that you have to fill out, like what's my passion and what do I want to share with the world? So I've done those things before, but so that was, I think, a good preparation as well, because every time I did kind of know, and I have, done some sales calls and things like that. So I've practiced myself, and I have a blog, and I've gone through a lot of, it's not like I was not doing anything and now I went to but you made me go all the way. So cool. It was just, I don't know, it just worked for me.
Yeah. Again, I would say you did it. I didn't make you do it. You did it yourself, and you're absolutely owed the credit for doing that. And really, I'm here to learn from you. So I think it's fantastic that you went through the whole process, that you stated your intent publicly, and then and you are where you are today. Have you already started your working with your clients yet, or have you not done your? Yeah, you have.
Yeah. They're fantastic. In their fourth day now, and I just had my first 2 feedback talks today, and they were really, very happy and impressed. But I also was so happy with their feedback, because you could also tell that one of them was already how do you say that in English again? Weerstand. Resistance to exercising. So this resistance was coming up, and so that's where I used my tapping. And then I went with her. I said, okay, where does this bring you back? What does it remind you of? And it reminded her of, looking at other kids doing the handstand, and that she couldn't do it, and that she was 6 or 7, and she was feeling very like left out and unimportant, and things like that. They're so people don't realize how they're connected to doing sports, that people don't like it because they were maybe terrible at it at school, and it touches something that hurt them deeply and made them feel not good enough. So when they have to work out, that makes them feel not good enough because they're not doing it, and it kind of reinforces itself in a big circle. So now for next week, I have my new tapping script. So I just wrote down everything she said and said, okay, I'm going to write the script for this, because probably everybody has that in week 2. Because she said, you've got the beginner's high, you start a new program, like, I'm going to do this challenge. And then, after 5 days, I was like, oh man, I'm just doing this challenge,
Right.
It's difficult to keep your motivation high. So,
Wow. I think a lot of people think, when they're thinking about getting feedback from their customers, they're thinking that the feedback is, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. And yes, that is part of it, right? But what you're explaining there is that the feedback you're looking for is how to just make them successful, how to give them what they need to get them where they want to go, which is why anyone watching this, if you've been through the process, you will know. And if you haven't, then I'll tell you, it's the way we do it is that your program or your challenge, it evolves, right? You don't create it and then sell it. You sell it and then you gradually create it week by week, based on what you learn from your customers as you go through the process. And that serves them so much better. As Alexis just said, she's already learned, okay, I've learned this from my customer. I'm going to implement that for the next week so that they get more value. And that process will continue, and this will evolve, right, over time. By the end, what you have is a program that is not only that you not only made money from in the beginning, which is great because you made money before you made it, but it's proven, right? It's based on what actually makes helps your customer reach their result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What was your biggest hesitation when you went through the process? What was the moment where you almost backed out, but you didn't quite?
I don't know if I really had that moment that I wanted to back out. I was really scared after I sold all of them. And then I thought, oh my God, I don't have anything yet. And now I have like, a week to do all of this. And so I had my mom filming me, and I like filmed 80 short videos of 15 seconds and was totally exhausted afterwards, and just all these, and then it's like then you have to upload them all, so that's a lot of work, if you so then it was kind of like, am I going to make it, yeah, because of course the kids are all home with Corona, so it's like they're not at school, and there's like I don't have a lot of time. So I got real nervous there for a moment.
Yeah.
So almost sick, kind of nervous.
Wow.
Like,
Did it? Yeah. But what's interesting is if you wouldn't have had those clients waiting, do you think you would have produced it so quickly?
No, hell no.
That's that accountability again, right?
Exactly. So that really helped because, I'd sold it. So now I really had to do it. And because the funny thing is, I have once actually it was also like a business event. And she asked if somebody wanted to share their goals. And I stood up. She said the same thing, accountability. And I stood up and I said, I'm going to have an online program by August, but that was last year. And I didn't do it. So I did tell, but there were lots of strangers and kind of, So it was really this having people actually waiting. They've already paid me and they really want to use the product. So but that also makes it scary. I think, oh my God, what if they don't like the tapping? And it is a bit weird, and they might not do it. And so, all these thoughts come up, but I just kind of push them aside. And I thought that you did that very well, that you said, this is really scary. And where I'm like, yes, it is. So that's good to somebody, knows and understands and feels you, let's say.
Yeah. And the only reason why I knew that it was scary at that moment is because I've been through this process with over 1,000 people, and they've told me, right, on day 11, that's a scary moment. Day 15, that's a scary moment. Day 22, 23, like that's about the time when you've sold but you haven't yet made it. That's a scary moment. And and this challenge that you've been through, that's evolved, right, over time as well. I'm curious if anyone watching has experienced, something similar with this accountability thing, and whether you've experienced it and it's helped, or whether you are having an aha moment right now where you think, you know what, I need to do something to hold myself accountable as well. Let us know in the comments. I see Brandon's watching from Hawaii. I'm quite jealous. That sounds amazing. I see Elizabeth watching live, which is lovely. I'm gonna pronounce your name again, and I know that I've had this problem before, but I think it's Joao. Don't know how you would pronounce that. I'm sorry. But I see your Joao. Yeah, maybe.
Joao.
Yeah, let us know if you can type it in the comments phonetically. That would be fantastic. And Elizabeth is saying, I agree with Alexis. This course is the best. Thank you very much. Elizabeth says she's also tried other courses, and seriously, Dan, you motivated us through it, and the program just guides us every step of the way. We're so proud of our app, but we didn't believe we could have done this. It's all down to trusting the process. And Elizabeth said it's dedication and hard work, but if it is your passion, you cannot fail. I agree. I'm curious, Alexis, if you remember the moment when you realized that tapping was something that was, or this whole process, I know it's not just tapping, but this whole process was something that is very important to you and that you felt compelled to share.
Well, I actually bought it thinking, I've heard somebody say before that you should do something that comes very easily to you. And for me, that's always been teaching sports. I've been doing it since I was 18 and I'm 42 now. So that's a long time. And I never prepare a class. I just kind of go and I just kind of feel, I don't know, I just do it. And so I was actually thinking of starting doing only a workout class, and but then I don't know, the niche came in, and I thought, actually I want this topic, so I just thought I'm just going to put everything in it. um, and I'm really happy that I did, because I think that because that's my whole that's what I really believe in. That's really my belief, that it's all combined. And you can only do the workouts, but I think that, well, at least with my niche, with people that eat emotionally, I also think that working out makes you feel more confident about your body, more confident in yourself. So I didn't want to just do one or the other. So that's why I kind of split. But I am thinking, because this is delivering a lot of value, that I want to make this like one expensive thing, and that maybe I'm going to copy and like only have a workout and kind of distill some parts out and make like smaller programs or something like that. Because that's possible, right?
Yeah, you can make as many products as you like.
Yeah.
At the moment, it doesn't. There isn't a feature yet to sell each program at a different price. So at the
Oh,
moment, you have free content and you have paid content inside the app. But I can tell you that it's been requested a lot and that we're going to work on it very soon.
okay.
Yeah,
So
to
if I
have
have
like,
another program, so all programs would normally be the same price.
you would, yeah. So you would have
Yeah.
like, you can have as much content in the app that's completely free as you like, and you can have as many products, as much content as you like that is paid. But the paid
Mm-hmm.
stuff is essentially, it's all in one bundle, if you like. So you can sell that bundle for different prices, right? You can sell it for whatever you like. But the
Yeah.
bundle is the bundle at the moment. In the future, we're
Yeah.
going to split that up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Okay, really nice. What would you say was your biggest takeaway as you went through this process?
I'd say just do it. Kind of Nike said it, of course. And that's really, just don't overthink it too much, because your fears are guaranteed to try to stop you from doing it. It's just like our reptile brain that goes, no, don't, and what if nobody likes it? And so just don't listen to that and just do it. I guess that's
Wow.
it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, no, I love that. It's it is tough, and we all think, myself included, like, oh, this isn't my reptile brain. It's different for me. I have a genuine reason for, people aren't going to care because I'm different because X, Y, Z, and I am going to fail because I'm different than, and people. And it's so often that people look at those who've achieved something that they want to achieve, and they think, yeah, but they're better than me because they've got this or they've got that, or they don't suffer with the thing I've got. And
Hmm.
it's really easy to think that. So, Alexis, what, do you have like a big social media following? Like, how did you get this success in a pretty short period of time?
Um, well, I don't have a big social media file. I don't know, like have 500 Facebook friends or something. It's not huge at all. And no, but I was very lucky. I posted that also in the group, that a friend of mine sent me a text message saying that RTL, which is a television channel here, and they had asked for entrepreneurs to send in a 1-minute movie if you'd managed to give a positive turn to Corona. And so I sent them a video saying that I'd put all my classes online, and that I was doing daily energize on Facebook, and that I was starting my own app. And they actually chose me. So I was on national television in Holland for I think 10 days in a commercial, for like, I was on TV so often I couldn't believe it. And so I got like 400. So then I thought, oh my goodness, I need to have something on my website if people look up my name after this commercial. So I put a thing and said, leave your email address half July when my app is finished, if you want to be notified. And like 400 people left their address. So that was quite amazing. So I was kind of lucky. It seemed like everything, well, lucky. I do believe in, and I've had it before, when you're in a schwung and it's going well, then everything seems to come together, doesn't it? I mean, yeah. So I started this and I was like driven, and that kind of made me, okay, I'm going to do the movie. And I just did it too, because I was in the do it modus. normally would have thought, oh, well, I'll make the movie next week, and I would have been too late. And this time I just did it and sent it, and boom, everything just seemed to come together.
Yeah, for sure. That's not luck. That is, these things come along, and it's so often something that we say, oh no, I won't get that, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Or again, the lower level self, the reptile brain tells us something, and we end up not doing it. So the fact that you got the opportunity, you went, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. That already is like top 1% stuff, and putting that sort of energy out there is very admirable, and you know, in this case, led to something great. You know, 400 people is 400, like, let's say, leads is for free, essentially, is amazing. All that exposure, like, just my takeaway there is just say yes. Just say yes to everything that you can, right?
Yeah. Just like a yes man. You know, that's a great movie with Jim Carrey. It's so funny. He says yes to everything, and then all these things happen in his life that are just crazy and funny. I recommend it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, weirdly, but I love
It's on
Jim Carrey.
Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. There's a fantastic book called The Surrender Experiment that I also recommend. It's not a comedy, but it's about this guy who he gets into you know, meditation, Zen meditation, like in a lot of, like, very seriously, and he decides to surrender the flow of life. It's a true story. It's his basically biography, essentially. And what that means to him is that he doesn't allow his preference to guide his decisions, because we have that lower level brain, and he says that we always try to control everything, but really nature and everything just evolves and happens around us, and really we have no control. So rather just, you know, surrender to the flow of life, look for the signs of where we should go and what we should do. And it's a very radical view on life, but he had and I think he's still alive, but probably quite old now, but he had just a phenomenal life, really interesting, very successful guy, as well, conventionally, and I would say spiritually. So yeah, I mean, I'm into that sort of stuff. I'm into the idea of, like, you never know what you until you say yes, and you do it, right?
Yeah, definitely recommend watching. It's really funny.
Nice. So we have a bunch of other people watching. I see here David from, is it Cirencester? I think that's even in the UK. I should know that. Anna's watching in Bath, which is also definitely in the UK. Carl said, is there a free trial period for the app? I'd love to build an app, but financially it's a risk to invest at the moment. I'd love to jump onto a trial and see how it works. So I can tell you, Carl, that there's no free trial, but there is a money back guarantee. So you can jump in, and if it doesn't work for you, then you can get your money back. And if you just go to Passion.io, then you can find all the details about that. Let's see what other questions we have. Tipper says, I was wondering if it's possible to sell a product through my app, and can I sell other app products as additional products in my app? Okay, so Tipper, I think we answered the second part already. We were just talking about that. The first part, I don't know if Alexis, if you've done this but you could also do this. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I sell additional products from my app? Like, for example, if there's a particular equipment that you need to do, you know, tapping fit to, like, complete the program, how could you sell that from within the app? And what I would recommend is, first of all, you can get, like, affiliate links for products. So if you don't have your own products, but you want to make a bit of commission by referring them to, you know, a particular roller or a particular yoga mat or whatever it is that they would need, you can get those. You can sign up as an affiliate and you can promote these things. And what you can do is just hyperlink them from your app. So you can just write in the lesson something like, get your equipment here, and then hyperlink here to wherever this affiliate link goes to, and you can do it that way. So that's a lot of people. There's an app on our platform called Booty Bands, where they have thousands of users using it, and they promote a lot of their. It's a physical item, Booty Bands. It's like a resistance band. They promote that from within the app, and it works really well. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, Tipper. Yes. And did I miss something? No, I think I didn't miss something from the chat. Okay, you guys,
I
I'm
have
getting
a
it.
question.
Oh
Could I
yeah,
ask
for
a
sure.
question?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Because as I said, everything, it's very, a lot of value actually in this app. That, and first I was thinking I was going to have a monthly subscription because that seemed nice to have a passive income that monthly. And then monthly I was thinking, well, about 20 euros. But then I thought with a 6-week program, that doesn't make any sense. So do you recommend just having a one-time fee, or?
That's a very good question. So there's sort of two answers to this, and I'll give you the short-term answer and I'll give you the long-term answer as well, okay? I'll start with the long-term answer. The long-term answer is, we all know that whatever we want to achieve, that it's a lifestyle, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
end, you said you've been doing this since you were 18 years old. This isn't for you something that after 6 weeks you're done and you're good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any sort of self-improvement is a habit, it's a lifestyle, it's a long-term decision. And therefore, if you want to have true impact on people, which I think you do, and we want to help enable and facilitate that, then I believe that the best way to do that is by having a long-term program as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a subscription where people get effectively coaching through this app, a community, all of this sort of stuff that helps them and facilitates a really healthy, really productive lifestyle in that particular area. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's the vision. Now, of course, getting to that vision requires a certain number of steps, and my job is to try and break down those steps for our experts, such as yourself, Alexis, in a way that enables you to actually achieve the vision, not just like believe in the vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see like let's say midterm is, my goal is to help you get to 100 members for your app, for your program, who pay approximately 50 to 100 euros or dollars per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's and the reason why it's that amount is because if you sell it for $80 a month and you have 100 members, that's $100,000 per year, or euros, or whatever you're working in.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's the next milestone, right? Like, you've kicked off within 30 days, you've made 3,200 euros. That's amazing. And the goal is to like get you to the next level where you have a substantial passive income, etc. So,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, 100 people is 100 people is enough that that you can make this income, but it's not like tens of thousands. So it's actually quite achievable to get 100 clients. It's not a pie in the sky dream. And you, with 100 people, you can give each one a certain amount of personal attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, that for me is where I see like the midterm goal. And then I want to get people from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. So that's the path, right? What I'm producing to help you achieve this is Expert Freedom. It's the follow-up to the Expert Unleashed challenge. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on it every day. As you can see from the challenge, it's a lot of work, so it's not there yet. But Expert Freedom, the goal is to get from that first sort of 10 clients from Expert Unleashed to 100, and then the next one will be to 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the midterm answer. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then the
But so
short term.
then, so you
Sorry.
kind of recommend still to then have a monthly subscription to the 6-week program, or a one-off?
Oh yeah. So good question. So what the program would look like for me is that what you would be selling midterm is actually a sort of coaching. I wouldn't call it a subscription, but like a coaching package, right? For example, I have coaches, and our different people in our company have coaches that we pay anywhere between $200 and even $1,000 a month, right? And so I don't compare that to like a Netflix subscription on that might be like 10 euros a month, right? Because it's a coach. So I wouldn't think of it as selling a subscription. I would think of it as selling a coaching package,
Mm-hmm.
and for between, let's say, 50 and 100 euros a month. And what I would provide for that is I'm going to help you guys build out a longer term program. And this 6-week thing that you've built already is like the kickoff, right? So whenever anyone joins, they go through that 6-week program in the beginning to get them, let's say, to the first level, a bit like everyone who joins Passion goes through the Expert Unleashed challenge to get to a certain level. And then they'll have like a long-term thing where you'll have like maybe weekly group accountability calls, maybe have like weekly competitions for the members. You'll have like things going on in the community. You'll be adding content. Like, I'm going to help you guys with how to do that. But that's how I see it long term. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. And then in the short term, until like that whole training's there, of course, if you or someone says, hey, I'm just going to go and do that, I don't need the training, I've got it clear, I'm going to do it, then that's great. But if you want to wait for the training, what I'm recommending is to go through the challenge multiple times. And there's people in the community who've done the challenge 5 times, so they've done 5 launches, and everyone builds on the last. They get referrals from their existing members, they grow. So yeah, I until the next one is there, I recommend actually just repeating the process. And the good thing is you've already got your 6-week, by the time you finish this process, you'll have your 6-week challenge, and you don't have to build it next time, right?
No, but I could sell this without me being involved at all, right? At the moment, like in an app store. And so
you can as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of recommend doing it like this.
Yeah. And the reason, so people often ask me, okay, but can I just like sell the program in the app store for like $10 a month or whatever? Of course you can. There's absolutely nothing to stop you doing that. Just be aware of the maths before you go into it. Or if you're American watching, the math. Just be aware of that, because if you, let's say, want to sell something for €10 a month, and let's say you want to make, I don't know, 100 grand a year, or let's say, to make it easy, 10 grand a month, you need 1,000 paying members, right? And every month members cancel. That's called churn. It's like a part of a subscription business. Every subscription business has a certain level of churn. Churn means what percentage of that 1,000 are leaving each month. Usually, I mean, it changes, but it's anywhere between 5 and 20% usually. So let's say it's 10%, right? So once you eventually get up to 1,000 members, which by the way is pretty tough, it's a lot of work and you have to do marketing, etc. You have 1,000 members, every month, 100 of them leave, and you have to get another 100 just to maintain 1,000 members, right? So while it's, and that's a huge thing, and even then it's 10 grand a month, which is great, but it's a huge deal to get there, right? So when people say, could I sell this for a low ticket amount? The answer is yes, of course. Just be aware of how many people you really need in there to actually to have impact for yourself. Yeah. Right. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Nice. Okay. So thank you. Usually people don't ask me questions, but it's nice. It's like it's turned into an interview the other way around now as well. If you could share one thing with people who are watching who haven't yet got to where you're at, and maybe they're struggling, and like, what would be your sort of one nugget of advice that might help people to push through where they're at and really, achieve their goals? Well, just trust the process. I guess that's really it, because that's what I did. I just kind of thought, this is scary, but every time something was scary, it was kind of like you already knew that was going to come, and so you kind of catched me. It felt like, so kind of just trust it, really trust the process, trust yourself, and just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, and you'll finish something with that you couldn't believe. Yeah. Awesome. That's great, Alexis. Thank you so much. For those of you watching, I can see a ton of you are here and getting a lot of value from it. So thank you very much for joining live. And I hope you've learned as much as I have and have got as much energy out of this as I have. I see a couple of more what I would call like support questions in the chat. So what I'm going to suggest, I actually have another live starting in exactly 20 minutes inside the Expert Unleashed Challenge group. So not the Passion Fighters group, the Expert Unleashed Challenge group. If you're not a member, just search for it and I'll let you in. And that's a Q&A about like support questions. So if it's okay, I will take those into the Facebook Live in the group and just just come there and ask anything you want about how to use the platform, about marketing, sales, any of this stuff. For now, Alexis, is there anything else that you'd like to share or ask or anything like that?
No, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the time. I really enjoyed it. I got so much value from it. I can see a ton of other people did as well. So thank you for sharing your story. And enjoy. Good luck with the next phase.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.